Welcome back everyone. Today we will discuss about Metasploit Framework. We have mentioned it before that we will use this tool extensively to exploit different targets and their vulnerabilities. However, before we begin using it, there are few important things you need to learn. Remember when I mentioned that Metasploit offers thousands of exploits for Windows, Mac OS, Linux operating system, and many more. While that is true, Metasploit provides much more than just exploits. In fact, exploits are only one of the 7 modules available in Metasploit. And those 7 modules are exploits, payloads, auxiliary modules, encoders, evasion modules, NOPs, and post-exploitation modules. So if you are new to Metasploit, these terms might seem unfamiliar, but don't worry, as we get through the all lectures, you will get familiar with all of this. So without wasting much time, let's navigate to our Metasploit framework directory. And to do so, we have to type a command that is cd/user/share/metasploit framework, and as we hit enter and type ls command, as you can see there are many consoles and directories, and here you can see MSF console that we are going to use this in our lectures. And also you can see there is MSF Venom. MSF Venom is a very important and crucial, or you can say it is an advanced tool in Metasploit framework that we are going to use in our gaining access section where we will use some advanced tools. And this MSF Venom tool is essential tool which generates payloads or shell commands to control the target machine remotely. Now we want to explore some modules. As I have told you that Metasploit have 7 modules, and to navigate to the modules you just have to type command cd modules and press enter, and now type ls command to list all the modules present in it. Okay, so as you can see we have something familiar, that is exploits module. And as we are familiar with exploits module, you know that an exploit executes a sequence of command to a target that for a specific vulnerability in a system or application, allowing us to gain access. An exploit can be categorized into buffer overflow, code injection, or web application exploits as well. So if we try to go inside the exploits module, just type cd exploit and press tab for efficiency and hit enter. And as we type command ls to list all the exploits and hit enter, as you can see we have a lot of directories. We have exploits for Windows, we have exploits for OS X, we have exploit for Firefox, for Linux, and for Apple iOS as well. Interesting. Now inside these exploits we can explore. So now let's explore inside these exploits directory, and we are going to check out some Windows exploits. So if we type Windows here and hit and type ls command and list all the directories, so as you can see we have a lot of directories here regarding Windows. So it has antivirus exploits, it has some game exploits, it has some HTTP exploits which can be very useful when exploiting a website, or we have email exploit as well. You will also see some subsidiaries like FTP, SMB, and as I have shown you, HTTP, etc. Each containing exploits are for those service. And let's go to some directory here. So if you just go to HTTP directory, so just type cd http and hit enter, plus type ls command and press enter, and as you can see we have a lot of scripts right here. These scripts are for exploiting our particular target, and if you want to check what inside in these scripts are, and as you can see they are ending with the extension .rb, and .rb is for Ruby. So let's just copy this selection, type nano and paste this file's name and hit enter. So as you can see, this module requires Metasploit and it is the download link of Metasploit, but we already have this Metasploit module here. And as you can see in the description, this exploits a stack buffer overflow in Webster HTTP server. As I have told you, exploits are mainly buffer overflow, web exploits, and one more. So as you can see in the description, this exploit is a stack buffer overflow in Webster HTTP server, and the server and source code was released within an article from Microsoft System Journal in February 1996. And if you know a little bit of Ruby language, you can easily understand what this script is running. So we don't know any Ruby language or something, and you can even create your own scripts, but it will take a lot of time. So you just prefer these inbuilt exploits inside Metasploit framework. So let's just exit by pressing command ctrl plus x. Now there are many modules as well, as you saw previously. So let's check some other modules as well. So we will do c -- to go back to our previous directories, and now we are in our modules directories. So let's press ls command here, and as you can see, we have some auxiliary directory as well. So let's just navigate to auxiliary here and ls command it, and as you can see, it has some auxiliary modules. It has some modules for spoofing, as you can see here. It has some module for sniffing and for scanning as well. So let's check some of these modules. And unlike exploit modules, auxiliary modules do not execute any payload. Instead, these auxiliary modules perform tasks such as I have shown you: scanning, fuzzing, denial of service, fingerprinting, and vulnerability scanning. For example, I have shown you the sniffer module, or while spoofing module helps us forge network traffic. So let's just explore some spoofing modules here. So as you can see in the spoofing module, we have some directories for ARP spoofing, for DNS spoofing, and some replay spoofing as well. So if we go to some DNS spoofing and check what's inside the directory, and you can see there are some Ruby extension files. So if we select this, type nano and hit enter, as you can see, the description says this module provides a Rex-based DNS service to resolve query intercepted via the capture mixin, and in the default configuration you can see the service operates as a normal native DNS server, with the exemption of consuming from and writing to wire as opposed to listening socket. And if you know some Ruby language, as I have told you earlier, you can easily know what this script is doing inside it. So let's just exit and go back to our previous directories. So let's check some scanner files as well. As we have already seen what's inside the spoofing, we should check what's inside the scanner as well. And as you can see in the scanner, we have a lot more options here. So we can check SSH here, we can scan SSH, we can scan SSL protocols, MySQL, and many more. So let's check what's inside our SSH. Here we have something cool that says SSH login.ruby. Now what this file does is it creates a payload that helps us do SSH login on a target machine, or you can say shell login on a machine and remotely control it. So just type nano and paste this command, and as you can see in the description, this module will test SSH logins on a range of machine and reports successful login. And if you have loaded a database plugin and connected to a database, this module will record a successful login and host, so you can track your access. This simply means that this module helps you, or this script helps you to gain access towards a machine. As you can see in the CEV version, it is a weak password vulnerability that is mentioned like this. So it exploits this. So this script works on this vulnerability. So let's just exit now, go back to our previous directories, and let's see what else we have to explore. So now we have something called post, and as the name suggests, post is nothing but a post exploitation directory. And post exploitation modules are just used after successfully compromising a network. They help with gathering information like stealing passwords, capturing their screenshots, or you can even escalate your privileges in it. Like once you gain access on a system, you try to escalate your root privileges, or you want to gain administration privileges. Also, you can dump some hashes from here. So let's just go inside the post exploitation directory, and as you can see, we have some post exploitation modules for Windows, for OS X, and for Linux, and for many more things. So we will see what's inside Windows. So as I have told you, the capture directory is for capturing the packets, capturing the screenshot, or capturing whatever you need to or you want to. The escalate directory have some scripts to escalate your privileges to root or administration level. Then we have some information gathering directories here, and the recon directory that works as the information gathering directory as well. And then we have LAN directory. Now what this LAN directory do is it collects the data about the router's password and the packets being transferred from router. So it's a cool module. So I won't go much in detail. It's a homework for you to explore more about this module and explore more about this module's directory. Now we will navigate to payloads directory. And now what a payload is. As I have told you earlier, a payload is alongside an exploit to execute commands on target, and payloads are categorized into four parts. So let's check what payloads are. So if we type ls, and as you can see, we have 4 directories here. One is adapters, then singles, then stagers, and then stages. So let me explain what these 4 types of categories are. So adapters are just used to customize payloads for different environments or execution method. It ensures that payload can be executed successfully on a specific architecture and operating system. Now these singles means they are standalone payloads. That means they just add a particular user on a system, and it does nothing but just creates a new user on a compromised machine. And whether the stager is completely different. Stager is a first stage of the stages category. Now the stager is a lightweight payload that sets up communication channel between the target and the attacker. Once the connection is established, the stager downloads and executes a stage payload, and this method minimizes the initial payload size, helping bypass the antivirus detection. Because the connection is already being established, so no antivirus or no firewall can interrupt it. It also uses some Metasploit reverse TCP stagers, and as we go through stages, a stage is a larger payload delivered by a stager. It provides an extensive functionality such as advanced control over the target system, and some examples are like Metasploit, VNC injection, and cell access. I have told you earlier what is cell injection, but Metasploit sounds something new. So what is a Metasploit? Metasploit is nothing but a powerful post-exploitation tool that provides an interactive shell on compromised system. It operates entirely in memory, makes it stealthier than traditional shell commands. There are some key features in Metasploit that includes file system navigation, process management, privacy escalation, like once you get the access of system, you escalate your privileges to root privileges. Its key feature is networking, pivoting, webcam, and microphone spying. So for this lecture, just this much information about Metasploit is enough. We will go deep into Metasploit's functioning and basic commands in our next lecture. Now we have something called encoders also. So let's check those encoders as well. So if we type cd encoders and hit ls, you can see we have some files for x64-bit system or x86 architecture system as well, and for CMD as well. So what are these encoders now? So encoders just help us bypass by obfuscating payloads. However, modern antivirus systems can often detect them, but these encoders modify payloads to make them less recognizable by signature-based antivirus programs. Now we have some evasion modules as well, and these evasion modules are generally designed to bypass our Windows Defender and nothing else. So if we go inside the evasion and type ls, as you can see, there is only one directory for Windows, and that's because it is only designed to bypass Windows Defender. As you can see in this directory of Windows, there are several scripts of Ruby extension for Windows Defender and the software of Windows. So now the problem is, with the frequent updates in the security software of Windows, many evasion techniques no longer works. So this is not a very useful technique or module for us. Now if we see knobs, and knobs just simply means no operation instruction. So these knobs instructions tell the processor to do nothing. They are useful in buffer overflow exploits to allocate some space in the memory before executing a payload. So that was a lot of information about Metasploit framework, but don't worry, everything will make more sense as we go through the all lectures, practice everything on the daily basis. So in the next session, we will learn how to use Metasploitable effectively and begin attacking our target machine.